Enlighten Reads Audiobooks presents Forge the New You, Rebuilding Unshakable Self-Belief. There comes a moment in life, not once, but again and again, when you find yourself staring at the mirror, not looking at your reflection, but at your potential. A moment where the life you've lived meets the life calling you forward. And in that moment, you don't feel proud or disappointed. You feel aware. Aware that something in you has been waiting, watching, quietly urging you to rise. Some people ignore that call. They numb it with distraction, entertainment, routine, comfort. You're fine, they say. This is enough. But something inside whispers, no. I am meant for more. If you're here, it's because that whisper has turned into a voice. And you finally listened. This isn't a motivation session. Motivation fades like a spark in the wind. This is a forging process. Forging takes heat, pressure, repetition, and will. You don't stumble into self-belief. You build it. The same way iron becomes steel. Tested by fire, shaped by force, and made sharp through effort. You are not here to be inspired. You are here to grow teeth. To become the version of yourself that does not flinch when life pushes, does not bow when doubt whispers, does not shrink when others judge, and does not quit when the path gets steep. Think of every powerful figure you admire. A leader, a creator, a thinker. Someone who speaks and the room listens. They were not born unshakable. They became unshakable. Not by luck. By choice. Maybe no one told you this clearly before. Confidence is not a personality trait. Confidence is a consequence of choices you make, of promises you keep, of challenges you walk toward instead of away from. And today marks the moment. You begin accumulating proof of who you are becoming. Repeat this silently. I am not who I was, I am becoming who I choose to be. Again, slower this time. I am not who I was. I am becoming who I choose to be. Breathe into that. Feel it settle in your chest. This is the beginning of your becoming. Your rise is already in motion. Let us begin. Chapter 1, The Inner Story, How Self-Belief is Written. Self-belief is not lightning that strikes you one morning. It's not inherited. It's not granted by approval. Self-belief is a story you carry. And before you rewrite it, you must understand where it came from. When you were a child, you didn't question yourself. A child doesn't overthink, doesn't strategize confidence, doesn't wait to feel ready. A child sees a tree and tries to climb it. Falls, tries again. Fails, laughs, tries again. Confidence was natural. Curiosity was instinct. Courage was default. So what happened? Life happened. Words happened. Comparison happened. Mistakes happened. Judgment happened. And slowly, the world taught you to doubt. Think back. Do you remember a moment someone embarrassed you for trying? A teacher who dismissed you? A parent who feared too much for you to risk anything? A friend who laughed when you dreamed too big? Small moments, perhaps. But repeated enough times, they became beliefs. Beliefs like, I shouldn't stand out. I might fail. What will they think? I'm not good enough yet. They were not truths. They were programs. Handed to you by others who were handing down their own fear. You didn't fail confidence. Confidence was interrupted. Let me tell you a story. There was once an elephant tied with a thin rope, Not a chain, a rope. A child asked the trainer. Why doesn't the elephant break free? The trainer said. When it was younger, we tied it with a strong chain. It tried and tried, failed again and again. Until it learned it was powerless. Now the rope is enough. Because the elephant isn't held by the rope. It's held by the memory of who it used to be. You are not that elephant. But your old beliefs act like ropes. And today, you walk away from them. Say this to yourself. That story no longer controls me. Again. I choose my identity from this moment forward. Your brain doesn't care who you were. It follows who you practice being next. Ask yourself. Whose doubts did I inherit? Which belief did I accept without ever questioning? What identity have I outgrown but continued wearing? Write your answers after this session. This is part of your excavation. Before you build the new self, you remove the dust of the old. Today, I want you to do one small thing your old self would avoid. And your new self would commit to. Not big. Not dramatic. Just symbolic. A quiet rebellion against your past identity. Because change doesn't happen in the future. It happens here. In this breath. In this decision. And with that, we move forward. Chapter 2, The Quiet Enemy, Doubt and Self-Sabotage. Doubt is not a flaw. Doubt is human. You are not weak because you doubt. You doubt because you are stepping into the unknown. Doubt is simply the mind asking. Are we prepared to evolve? Most people misunderstand doubt. They think doubt means stop. But in reality, doubt means go carefully but go anyway. Doubt is not your enemy. Obedience to doubt is. We need to understand the biology behind doubt. Your brain has one default priority. Keep you alive. Not fulfilled. Not powerful. Not extraordinary. Just safe. So when you dream boldly, when you decide to step into growth, your brain triggers doubt like an alarm system. Warning, discomfort ahead. Warning, unfamiliar territory. Warning, your old identity is at risk. This is not a warning of danger. This is a signal of evolution. Doubt doesn't come when you're weak. Doubt comes when you are on the edge of growth. Think about it. No one doubts themselves while staying small, quiet, predictable, average. Doubt shows up only when you are rising. Which means doubt is evidence that you're moving in the right direction. Say this. I feel doubt because I am growing. Again, with certainty. Doubt is proof of expansion. Your real enemy is self-sabotage. Self-sabotage doesn't happen because you don't believe in success. It happens because a part of you still believes in your old limits. Your actions always serve your identity. If you secretly believe, I'm not capable. I don't deserve success. People like me don't win big. Then your brain will sabotage anything that contradicts that old belief. Not to hurt you, but to protect the identity you're used to. You're not lazy. You're loyal to who you used to be. But you're not that person anymore. Say this. I am no longer loyal to old limits. Let me tell you a story. A boy plants a seed and waters it every day. Weeks pass, nothing. Other kids tease him. Give up. It's not growing. But he keeps watering. Not because he sees progress, but because he trusts the process. One morning, a tiny green sprout breaks the soil. What nobody saw was the growth happening underground all along. Growth starts invisibly. You don't see it. Then suddenly, it becomes undeniable. Your self-belief is the same. It grows quietly, until one day, you wake up unshakable. When doubt shows up, don't freeze. Respond. Say, I hear you. But I move anyway. And then, act. Immediately. Decisively. Even small movement counts. Because movement interrupts fear. Action collapses doubt. If you wait to feel confident, you will wait your whole life. Confidence is not a prerequisite. It is a reward. Confidence comes from evidence that you move. Now, close your eyes. Picture doubt as a shadow behind you. If you turn backwards, it grows. If you walk forward, it fades. Now whisper. Forward. Because the moment you walk, doubt cannot lead, it can only follow. Chapter 3, Identity Upgrade, Becoming the Person You Respect. Every single day, billions of people wake up hoping their life changes. Without realizing life changes only when identity changes. Write this truth into yourself. You do not become successful and then feel worthy. You feel worthy, and then you become successful. Identity is not a reflection of your past. It is a commitment to your future. Think of identity like a pair of shoes. You've been wearing the same pair for years. Same thoughts, same reactions, same habits, same fears. And now you are trying to run toward a bigger life. In shoes built for a smaller one. Of course it feels uncomfortable. Of course you doubt. You are transitioning. Confidence doesn't come from staying who you are. Confidence comes from acting like who you intend to become. You are not trying to be someone else. You are trying to be someone greater than your past version. Between who you are and who you want to be, there is a bridge. And that bridge is built with daily alignment. Not perfection. Not dramatic breakthroughs. Alignment. Alignment means this. Your actions match your destiny more than your history. If yesterday pulls you more than tomorrow does, you stay who you've been. But when tomorrow pulls harder, you evolve. Imagine a garden. You plant seeds of discipline, courage, self-respect. You water them with consistency. You remove weeds, doubt, procrastination, comparison. At first, the soil looks the same. Nothing visible changes. Then one day, a green sprout breaks through. Not because you suddenly became stronger, but because you were strong long before the world could see it. Identity growth starts beneath the surface. Most people quit before anything breaks the soil. You are not most people. Say this softly. My growth is happening, even when I can't see it yet. Here is the mechanism of becoming. Your beliefs create your actions. Your actions create your evidence. Your evidence shapes your identity. Your identity governs your future. And it all begins not with belief, but with action aligned to who you choose to be. Let me tell you a story. A sculptor was asked, "How do you create such magnificent statues?" He replied, "I do not create. I reveal. I remove everything that is not the masterpiece inside the stone." That's you. You are not building a new self. You are removing who you are not. Stripping away doubt, excuses, hesitation, false limitations. The strength, confidence, power. They were always inside you. We are simply chiseling away the stone. Close your eyes for a moment. See a door in front of you, sturdy, tall, glowing slightly. You open it and step into a room. There stands your future self. Not idealistic, not imaginary. Real. Refined. Centered. Powerful. A presence. Look at them. They stand taller. Their shoulders relaxed, their breath calm. Eyes sharp but peaceful. Not arrogant, certain. They speak to you gently, firmly. You are exactly where you need to be. Keep going. Every small action is sculpting you into me. And then, they smile, a knowing smile. Because they already trust who you are becoming. Open your eyes. You just met the person you will become. If you remain loyal to your path. Every morning, ask yourself. What does my future self expect of me today? Then do one aligned action. Speak to yourself like the person you respect most. Walk like someone whose life matters. Choose like someone building a legacy. Stand like someone who deserves space in every room they enter. Identity builds not in a single moment, but in micro moments of alignment. Today, you are not chasing confidence. You are training your identity. You are sculpting your future. And your actions, humble or grand, are awakening a version of you that you have always been capable of becoming. You are not waiting for the world to change. The world is waiting for you to change. And you are doing it. Right now. Breath by breath. Choice by choice. Day by day. We are only getting stronger. Chapter 4, Self-Respect Habits, Confidence in Daily Action. Confidence is not a mood. Confidence is self-respect earned through action. People think confidence begins in the mind. But it truly begins in your conduct. Every time you follow through on a promise to yourself, something inside you stands taller. Every time you quit on yourself, something inside you shrinks. It is not other people that you lose trust in first. It is yourself. Self-belief is not built by thinking positive. Self-belief is built by witnessing your own discipline. Write this into your being. You do not get the life you want. You get the life you prove you can maintain. And proof is found in habits. Little habits. Boring habits. Invisible habits. Anyone can do something once. Transformation begins at repetition. Self-respect is not loud. Self-respect whispers. It shows up in choosing water over distraction. Waking when you said you would. Keeping one small promise. Showing up even without applause. Finishing one more rep, one more minute, one more page. It shows up in private loyalty to your future. Let me tell you a story of the stone cutter. A stone cutter hits a rock 100 times. And nothing happens. No crack. No movement. On the 101st strike, the rock splits in half. Was it the last strike that broke it? No. It was every strike before that. Discipline works the same way. You don't see progress. You doubt yourself. You wonder if it matters. But suddenly, something breaks open. And the world calls it overnight success. There is no overnight success. There is only ongoing effort. That eventually becomes undeniable. A Navy SEAL once said, "We don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our standards." That is why they make their bed in the morning. Not because a bed matters, but because discipline does. If the first act of your day is discipline, the rest of the day aligns around strength. Make your bed. Drink water. Move your body. Breathe deeply. Stand up straight. Take control early. Win small, win big later. From now on, I want you to do 3 things every day that honor your future self. Keycap 1 Discipline action. Something you don't feel like doing, but you know will make you stronger. Keycap 2 Growth action. Reading, journaling, learning, skill building. Keycap 3-1 Courage Action. A step that stretches you, even just 10 seconds of bravery. These 3 tiny moments create compounding self-respect. Remember this. You do not rise because you feel motivated. You rise because you refuse to disrespect your future. Say this silently. My future deserves my discipline. Again, slower. My future deserves my discipline. You are not trying to be disciplined. You are remembering that you already are. You are proving your identity in tiny moments. You are choosing your future over comfort. You are honoring the life you are building. And every small action echoes. I deserve the life I am creating. Self-respect grows quietly. And then one day, it roars. We move forward. Chapter 5, Emotional Armor, Handling Judgment and Failure. Most dreams don't die in failure. They die in silence. In hesitation. In the quiet prisons we build inside our minds. Why? Because it's not failure we fear most. It's being seen failing. It's the eyes. The whispers. The private judgments. The silent laughs. The fear isn't falling. The fear is falling in front of others. But listen closely. Those who judge you have already surrendered to their own fears. They don't laugh because you're trying. They laugh because they stopped trying long ago. If someone mocks your effort, they are revealing their own resignation, not your weakness. Say it quietly. I refuse to inherit other people's limitations. Why judgment hurts? Judgment hurts because deep inside, you worry they might be right. You fear your ambition is fragile. You fear your growth is not real yet. You fear your future self isn't guaranteed. But here is your truth. You are not fragile, you are forming. Uncertainty is natural at the beginning. Doubt is natural at the beginning. Vulnerability is natural at the beginning. You don't have to be unbreakable right now. You only have to stay in the becoming. A story goes like this. In an ancient village, a young archer practiced daily. At first, he missed constantly. Arrows falling short, flying sideways, landing far from the mark. People laughed at him. Children mimicked him. Elders shook their heads and said, "Some people are not meant to aim high." He kept practicing. One day, his arrow hit the center. Silence. Then again, bullseye. And again, bullseye. Soon, crowds gathered not to mock him, but to admire him, to learn from him, to call him a master. But what they didn't know was this. He did not become great after they believed in him. He became great while they laughed. And that's why he became great. Silent work. Quiet resilience. Unbothered growth. You don't rise in applause. You rise in solitude. Remember this. Mockery is just the echo of another person's surrender. Failure is not the opposite of progress. Failure is progress, disguised as correction. Repeat this. Failure is instruction, not identity. You are not failing. You are iterating. Every champion has been a beginner. Every master was once clumsy and uncertain. Every legend was once invisible. The difference was never talent. It was persistence under judgment. Whenever criticism or doubt hits, picture yourself standing rooted, feet firm, spine tall, breath calm. Close your eyes and repeat slowly. I am centered. I am unmoved. I stand with myself. Nothing external defines me. Feel your chest expand. Feel your breath deepen. Feel your presence harden into steel. The world cannot bend a mind that supports itself. Embrace the battlefield. Every time someone doubts you, a seed is planted. You don't water it with anger, or ego, or revenge. You water it with discipline. You grow quietly. You return stronger. You rise in front of them without needing to speak. Victory is not loud. Victory is undeniable. Judgment is not your enemy. Failure is not your enemy. Your only enemy is the version of you who didn't start, who didn't try, who stayed small to stay accepted. You are not that version anymore. You have chosen growth over comfort, courage over conformity, vision over validation. And that choice has already set you apart. Walk forward unbothered. Grow fiercely and silently. Let your life become your proof. You are not here to be liked. You are here to become undeniable. And you will. Chapter 6, Inner Voice Reengineering. Master your inner dialogue. You speak to yourself more than you speak to anyone else in your lifetime. But most people would never tolerate from others the tone they use on themselves. A friend doubts you and you distance yourself. A stranger insults you and you ignore them. But you, your own mind criticizes, questions, diminishes, worries, doubts. And you listen like it's truth. It's time to break that contract. Your inner voice is not fate. It is a habit. And habits can be retrained. Why the inner voice forms the way it does. Your inner voice began as someone else's voice. A cautious parent. A fearful teacher. A judgmental peer. Society's expectations. Your past failures replaying themselves as warnings. Most negative self-talk isn't you. It is echoes of old environments. And you are not obligated to carry echoes into your future. Say this softly. My mind is mine again. A short story. A young warrior trained for years. Physically unstoppable, disciplined, focused. But before every battle, a whisper inside him would say, "You're not ready. Others are better. What if you lose?" One day, exhausted by that voice, he sought the wisdom of an elder general. The elder said, "You think bravery means not hearing the whisper. But bravery is hearing it, and moving anyway. Courage is not quiet, courage speaks back." From then on, the warrior didn't silence the whisper. He answered it every time. "I hear you, and I go forward anyway." And the whisper eventually became silent. Not because it disappeared, but because it was defeated. The mind training truth. You don't eliminate doubt. You train over it. You don't remove fear. You lead through it. You don't wait for the inner critic to disappear. You teach it a new language. Your mind is not a cage. It is a tool. And you are the sculptor. From today forward, we shift. From self-criticism to self-instruction. From "what's wrong with me?" to "what's the next step?" From fear questions to growth questions. Instead of "what if I fail?" ask, "What if this works? What can I learn? How do I grow from this?" Greatness is not loud. It is constructed in quiet, repeated commands. When your mind says, "This is too hard," you say, "Hard trains me. Keep going." When your mind say, "I'm not good enough yet," you say, "I am improving every day." When your mind say, "What if I fail?" you say, "Failure is feedback, I advance." You are not fighting yourself. You are leading yourself. Say out loud when doubt appears. Stand down. I'm in command now. Say it with your spine straight. Your tone calm. your presence anchored. You'll feel your whole body shift. Ask yourself, how would my strongest self speak right now? And answer like them. That future version is not pretending. They are practicing leadership. And you are becoming them. Repeat with breath and conviction. I lead my thoughts, they do not lead me. I speak to myself with respect. I give myself instructions, not insults. I am training the voice that will carry me forward. I talk like the person I am becoming. Pause. Let it sink in. Say one final line like a vow. My inner voice is becoming my power. The world cannot break you. If your voice stands with you, you don't need louder confidence. You need clear inner leadership. You are not waiting for the mind to change. You are training it into loyalty, discipline, belief, and clarity. Your voice will become your fuel. Your breath will become your grounding. Your words will become your identity. This chapter didn't just teach you to think. It taught you to lead yourself. And now we move into your final chapter. The chapter of endurance, momentum, and long-term power. Chapter 7, Fuel and Fortitude, Sustaining Your Rise. Reaching strength is one thing. Maintaining strength, that is mastery. Anyone can sprint with excitement. Few can march with commitment. This chapter is not about feeling powerful. It is about remaining powerful. When excitement fades. When life tests you. When nobody is cheering. When results are still growing underground. Because the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. And yet, most people quit. Because they confuse not visible yet with not working. Say this softly. Just because I don't see progress yet does not mean progress isn't happening. This is called fortitude. The strength to continue in the absence of obvious reward. Have heard about the lighthouse principle? You are not a lifeboat, desperately searching for approval, validation, and applause. You are a lighthouse. A lighthouse does not chase ships. It stands tall, lit, unwavering. And ships adjust to it. People will adjust to the stronger version of you. Your energy becomes a compass, not a request. Your presence becomes guidance, not noise. Standing strong isn't arrogance. It is clarity. Say it. I do not chase. I stand, I rise, I shine. Here is a beautiful story. A student asked a monk, Master, how do I remain strong when life becomes difficult? The monk pointed to a mountain and said, That mountain has stood through storms that would break a house. Winds that would uproot trees. Heat that would dry rivers. Not because it is untested, but because it does not negotiate with the weather. Do not negotiate your strength based on the mood of a day, or the opinion of a person, or the fear of a moment. Be the mountain. Weather changes. Mountains remain. Your rise is not built on motivation. It is built on micro-rituals that keep your identity alive. In the morning, ask yourself, what does the strongest version of me do today? Breathe deep. Stand tall. Take one aligned action. At night before you go to bed, ask yourself, did I honor my future today? If yes, smile. If not, resolve, don't shame. Say this to yourself. Tomorrow, I rise again. Momentum is not perfection. Momentum is continuity. The strongest people do not shout their strength. They carry it. They adjust. They learn. They forgive themselves. They return to the path. They do what champions do. They stay. Stay committed. Stay curious. Stay humble. Stay moving. Success is rarely loud. It feels like this. Showing up when you don't feel ready. Believing when no one claps. Trying again after a quiet disappointment. Improving in the dark. Walking forward even when doubt returns. That is greatness. That is fortitude. Close your eyes. Breathe into your chest. Feel your spine align, tall, steady. Say slowly, with conviction. I am not waiting, I am becoming. I rise when it's hard. I keep my word to myself. I carry myself with dignity, strength, and purpose. I am consistent. I am persistent. I am inevitable. Breathe again. Now one final line. Soft but powerful. I have entered a new chapter of myself. This journey was not about becoming someone else. It was about shedding everything you are not. And returning to who you always had the power to be. You are not the old story. You are not the hesitation. You are not the echo of other people's doubts. You are the one who steps forward. Who chooses to rise. Who builds instead of waits. Who walks your path with quiet power and relentless dignity. This world does not shape you anymore. You shape you. Stand in this moment and recognize something sacred. You did not just listen to an audiobook. You crossed a threshold. You have become calmer, clearer, stronger, more self-respecting, more self-directed, more you than you have ever been. You are forging your life every day. And from this point forward, you do not shrink again. Your potential is awake. Your identity is rising. Your future is in motion. And your belief, your quiet, powerful, undeniable belief, is no longer a hope. It is a practice. Now go, and live in the honor of the person you are becoming. Forge forward. Forge with discipline. Forge with courage. Forge with dignity. And always remember, you earned this rise. Thank you for listening to this audiobook brought to you by Enlighten Reads Audiobooks. For more such enlightening and inspiring audiobooks, please subscribe to our channel.